Saskatchewan drivers and cyclists and pedestrians were asked in April to submit their worst roads, but 2 Regina streets make the CAA's top 10 worst roads list in Saskatchewan. The top 10 list was Highway number 4 in Dorintosh. Number 2 was 8th Avenue North in Regina. 8th Avenue North, I don't think I ever go down that road, so.
It's just south of the Ring Road, right? Because the Ring Road turns into 9th Ave North, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry, I said we suck at driving, but no, it's we suck at roads.
We suck at roads. This has been a consistent issue in Saskatchewan my whole life.
Yeah, absolutely. It sure has.
There's something about the way we build roads or whatever we're doing.
I can't remember where I heard this statistic. And so, like, I think I heard this statistic something like 25 years ago when I first moved to Saskatchewan. So this could be completely out to lunch. But I remember reading that Saskatchewan has like the highest ratio of roads to people anywhere in the world. Like, we have more roads per person of anywhere else in the world. We have lots of roads. Yeah, because we have low population density. But.
And our very comprehensive grid road system.
Yeah. So
obviously the roads, like various roads have different people in charge of their care and maintenance. Yeah. Highways are under the Department of Highways. City streets are under the cities. And various other roads are under various municipalities and whatnot. Yeah. So.
Well, and there's you have this is again we're shifting between the micro and the macro here, but there's the famous story about how expensive it is to be poor. The guy who buys a $20 pair of boots that he has to replace every year, and the guy who can afford to buy a $50 pair of boots that will last for 20 years. Right. And so the rich guy only spends $50 for 20 years. The poor person ends up spending $20 a year for 20 years and spends $400.
Yeah.
We build cheap roads.
Yep.
Now, part of it is the ground shifts. So even expensive roads, you'll have issues with cracking.
That's right.
And I'm not a civil engineer. I don't want to come in and be like, oh, if we built out of concrete instead of asphalt, because I don't know where the cost.
Yeah, I don't think I did work in road surveying for a decade.
Okay, perfect. You speak then.
So I do know a little bit. No, you're right though. We don't build our roads out of concrete for a reason, because our cold temperatures and our moisture changes. It takes a toll. And then of course, in some areas you have a lot of heavy traffic, where in other areas you have almost no traffic. So you have it's just a complicated problem to solve.
Yeah. So, and again, I think you have a combination of our conditions or such. And again, I do think it's a matter of, if you skimp, you pay for it in the long run. So.
A formerly twice rejected suicide prevention bill passed in the Sask legislature.
Yep. Awesome. This is very, very, very similar to the NDP proposed bill. That, again, twice turned down.
Yeah.
Again, it's an NDP bill that passed, so it's good on the Sask party for actually working with them.
Yeah, that's right. For recognizing the need and actually doing something.
Yep. So I am surprised. I was expecting either to never go through or to be repackaged as a Sask party bill, rather than them actually supporting the NDP bill. But this is actually how government is supposed to work. The opposition coming up with good ideas that the governing party of the day actually supports because it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Is how this is supposed to work. And this should be a thing Sask party supporters should feel proud of and be able to go, okay, look, we're not we can listen to good ideas from others when they're there. Yeah. I think they'd be great if they would do it more often. But again, steps in the right direction. I don't want to pat the Sask party on the back too hard, because again, also recognizing that it was the NDP who came up with the idea in the first place.
Right.
But good on them for eventually coming around to supporting it after they got mud on their face during the Tristan Durocher protests. So and good on Durocher for the work he did in this, because I think without him this bill wouldn't pass.
No, for sure.
I think it's pretty cut and dry that this would not pass without his work.
Yep. It needed an activist to make a big deal out of it, because it would have just been ignored.
And once again, that's when folks say, what does activism ever do? How does this ever accomplish? What do protests ever accomplish? Well,
yeah.
Now you see.
Now you know. SAS Power announces $7 million to improve reliability in downtown Regina. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Underground cables, duct banks. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this.
Good story all around. Benefits the economy, benefits the city. In the long run, benefits SAS Power, because it helps reinforce their reputation for reliability. So, and infrastructure needs upgrading. We talked about that with the roads, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's spend money to fix things, because if we don't spend the $7 million now, we're spending $30 million in 5 years.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah.
I think the idea being maintenance is cheaper than repair. And I think this is slipping a little bit into the repair side of the ledger as well.
Probably,
but for the most part, this is catching it while it's still the ounce of prevention, rather than having to pay for the pound of cure.
As you said, in the terms of the repair side of things, there's a quote here from Sandra Masters, mayor of Regina. In terms of the pandemic, in that kind of transition into working from home, some residents and businesses are affected by the power outages. It literally shuts down work for hours for employees here in the city as well. So it is an aging infrastructure, and we need to maintain it and rebuild it. So
it's good. Like I said, good news all around. Again, there's the benefits to the economy of having actually a good functioning infrastructure, but also benefits to the economy of hiring people to do the work as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
And Masters and Verisuk also talk about that in the story. So it's a good story.